Hey, everybody.
Wait a minute. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Geez, I don't know. Like, it's a summer blockbuster. Can a summer blockbuster...
Did it come out in the summer?
I think it did.
It must have come out in the summer.
Yeah, I think it did.
But, wait, now, and just hear me out, okay? Like, okay, obviously it's an action movie.
No one's debating that.
No one's debating that, right?
Yeah.
But...
So it can't be a Christmas movie.
Well, but hang on. Now, let me lay this on you, okay? If you're really paying attention to Die Hard, there are a couple of subtle references to Christmas time.
Came out in July.
Came out in July.
1988.
Oh, well, it couldn't possibly really be a Christmas movie then, right?
It's a summer blockbuster, I'd say. Set at Christmas.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Jeez.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I wish you could see me because I'm doing the Wiley Wiggins in Dazed and Confused where he's just kind of, Banyan, you know,
Yeah,
and he kind of pinches his nose.
Alex is pinching his nose and pushing his long hair back.
Banyan, man. He's always hazing us.
Yeah. You're really the Wiley Wiggins of the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm his older brother.
Oh, the cool guy.
The cool guy. Yeah.
Who's on the football team.
Yeah.
Who chooses to spurn conformity and go to an Aerosmith concert.
That's me, baby.
Dazed and Confused rocks.
Is Dazed and Confused a Christmas movie? Wait, but seriously, let's really get into it. Let's dive into the different layers. Is Die Hard a fucking Christmas movie, bro? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, and I do know what you're talking about, and it totally matters.
Is it a Christmas movie?
I don't know, but it matters whether or not it is.
Can a thing be more than one thing at the same time? Can one thing have multiple meanings? No,
that
right?
I don't think so.
No, it can't. So no, it's not a Christmas movie.
Because it's an action movie.
Yeah. Wait a minute, but is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Wait, how long?
It's not been nearly long enough.
We gotta keep doing this.
It's one of life's greatest questions. You know what I mean? I think Ingmar Bergman made a movie tackling whether or not Die Hard was a Christmas film.
Yeah, that's right.
It's called Winter Light.
Is Winter Light a Christmas movie? It takes place in the winter.
Well, it's Scandinavia. It's always winter, isn't it?
It's always winter in Scandinavia. That's right. Yeah. Where
winter.
They have racist Santa and whatever.
It's always winter and it's always daytime.
Yes.
That's all I know about Scandinavia.
That's what I know. And all we know about Scandinavia is through the cinema of Ingmar Bergman, and I guess to a lesser extent...
The music of Young Lean.
The music of Young Lean.
And Drain Gang.
Yes, of course.
Shout-outs to Blady, Echo 2K.
Blady, yes. I recently heard... now I know who that is, and I felt pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But something's been really kind of like getting to me is about Die Hard.
Yeah?
Yeah. Some people online, right?
Okay.
And
internet trolls.
You know what the kind of people I'm talking about, right?
Incels.
Yeah, incels. The kind of guys who hate women.
Join ISIS.
Who love Die Hard. Join ISIS. Yeah. The kind of computer bound nerds who's only ever had one job, and that's editing ISIS videos.
They play Overwatch.
They talk over women. Mm-hmm. And they're constantly mansplaining that Die Hard is a frickin' Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, to be fair, is kind of mind-blowing.
Well, yeah, like if you think about it, and I mean, if you really do think about it and do a careful sort of like frame-by-frame analysis of the movie, you can see there are clear references to Christmas.
There's a Christmas tree. I saw a Christmas tree at some point.
There are multiple Christmas trees.
Okay.
Because it's taking place during Christmas in L.A.
It's Christmas Eve, I believe. It's like the Christmas Eve party. And Nakatomi Plaza.
Yes. And there's also some characters make dialogue references to Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 yeah. The hacker at the beginning is singing some Christmas music.
Right.
And Al, the cop, is singing some Christmas music.
When they blow the vault, they're like, oh, it is a Merry Christmas.
It is a Merry Christmas. So if you think about it, like that, right?
It can't be, though.
What do you think?
It can't be.
Well, I've got something to bring up, some definitive sort of, I wouldn't say proof, but definitive angle that we could take here. Because I really want to get to the bottom of this. And I don't care if this is the only thing.
If this takes 2 hours.
If it takes 2 hours, then congratulations. It's our longest episode.
Yeah.
I don't care if we only talk about whether or not it's a Christmas movie, because I think you can tell by the tone of our voices that this is something we take seriously.
And it matters.
It matters. It matters. A thing can only be one thing at a time, and it's important that we establish that, right?
I think the proof is in the pudding. If it was a Christmas movie...
The figgy pudding.
If it was a Christmas movie, why didn't they release it at Christmas time? Who releases a Christmas movie in summer? Californians, that's it.
But if horror movies you're only allowed to watch horror movies in the month of October, then why are some classic horror movies not released outside of that month?
If you actually go back and do a bit of research, you'll actually see that they're not.
Are you saying I'm not doing enough research?
Every horror movie ever made has been released in and around the month of October.
Right, and every Christmas movie has come out in
November.
November,
least,
maybe, but December.
And
right?
Not January, because that's kind of weird.
It's over. Yeah. Get over it. Okay, well, let's talk about this. In front of me, I have 2 copies of the movie Die Hard on physical media. Mm-hmm. One of them is a VHS copy. Not the original VHS copy, but one from the mid 90s.
When they kind of released it as a set, right?
When 1, 2, and 3 had all come out. And it's
a slick cover.
It's a really slick cover.
It's like it's gun gray.
It is gun gray. Yeah, totally. And it's really cool. Maybe we'll put a photo in the description. I always hear people on podcasts saying that. I don't know. Can we do that?
Maybe.
Maybe.
If not, send us an email at thefranchiseespod@gmail.com and we'll email you back.
We'll email you a photo with us holding it.
Yeah, and maybe we'll be naked.
It will be covering our genitals,
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. Next to that, I have a brand new 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital copy of it.
Also in gun gray.
Yes.
Like metal gray.
Yes. Kind of comically without color. Not even the red Die Hard that we see on this other one. But all that is to say, I own a lot of movies, too many movies. So many, in fact, that I can't have them in my apartment in the city. So my parents have most of them in their basement in tubs.
They're nice people.
They're very nice people. And they put up with a lot of bullshit from me.
No more movies, Ben.
No more movies.
Please, Ben.
So
no more.
Yeah.
Your mother's dying.
I come to America to make a better life for my children, and all you bring is movies. Spend your money on a bread. Italian immigrant parents. Let me just look at my list here. What am I saying? Oh yeah. I have the Die Hard Blu-ray collection that has all 5 Die Hard movies in it. It's a ubiquitous Blu-ray on a lot of store shelves. It's really easy to find. It's not expensive, whatever. I tried to find it when I was visiting them recently. I couldn't find it. It's a mess. My movies are a mess down there.
Maybe they've secretly started culling them without telling you. And selling them to the local video store, just being like, just take them. Take them.
Your fish dies when you go to camp or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought about getting a collection, maybe giving it to Alex, because it's probably be like $10, $15 to get all of them on a Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
And that is what I need.
Yeah. Yeah, and I offered it to Alex, and Alex said, "I don't want that." Not in so many words. Not really. I didn't. Anyway, what I did instead was I thought, you know what? The original Die Hard is a movie that I like and that I watch often enough to justify getting the 4K version of it. So I went to Bay Street Video, which is kind of the last operating video store in downtown Toronto.
It's great. We love Bay Street.
We love Bay Street.
Shout outs to Bay Street Video.
Yeah. They have their own podcast.
They do?
Yeah, they have a podcast talking about like recent Blu-ray releases and stuff like that.
Oh, that's probably pretty bad.
See, now what I thought was, why would I want to listen to a podcast about recent Blu-ray releases? And then I started listening to it, and I was like, oh yeah, of course I would like this.
Okay, fair enough.
It's really entertaining.
Yeah.
Anyway, I looked in their 4K section for rentals that you can also buy, and I couldn't find it.
Oh.
Yeah,
weird.
It said they had it on their website, right?
Oh, so you would have thought it'd be in the 4K.
I would have thought it'd be in the 4K section, yeah. So then I went to the 4K for sale only section, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
it's got to be there.
And it was there.
It wasn't there.
Oh.
So I thought, okay, well, I guess I'll have to ask the management what's going on.
Yeah.
And I asked, like, do you have Die Hard on 4K? And he said, oh yeah, it's in the Christmas section.
No.
It's in the Christmas section.
No.
And
no.
my eyes rolled to the back of my head. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Jingle bells started playing. You know, it was awful.
That's so fucked up.
And he went around the corner
my
and like
God.
went to the Christmas section and pulled it out.
Was he wearing like a little Santa hat?
I don't think so.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
He should have been.
That's so fucked up, dude. I'm sorry that happened to you.
So I'm just saying, like,
Are you okay?
no, I'm not okay. I've been the rest of the time, like that was like whatever a couple weeks ago or something, and I've been lying in bed tossing and turning. I've been sleeping all day. I've been depressed. I haven't been eating, and I've just been kind of looking at video essays of whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Video essays produced by some of the worst, most annoying people in the entire world.
I love video essays.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We had a funny idea for a video essay once. I think it was your idea, and I was really encouraging of it. But it was you were going to make like a video essay all about like the cinematography of a specific cinematographer.
Yeah.
And it would be like a very sincere, like 45-minute in-depth analysis, but you would just purposely mispronounce cinematographer to cinematographer every single time, and just like throughout the whole video, and that's like the only joke, and it's not referenced at all. You just kind of do it. And
I remember that.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someone's already done that by now. This is my problem.
And it's like we just come up with ideas and then sit on them. Like the other day, I was like, reading my monthly issue of Variety that I get because I'm really tapped in, and I saw that Blumhouse was producing Don't Stop Filming.
No,
and I was like, fuck.
No, that's awful.
We should have.
Well, clearly, Jason Blum is a fan of the franchisees.
Jason Blum, come on the pod.
Yeah, sure, come on the pod. Yeah, that'd be great. I've got some. I've got some tacky Blumhouse movies I can make.
We're just gonna badger
you
with ideas.
Yeah. Okay. What about this a horror movie that's all about trauma, right?
Oh yes.
And we call it. We'll call it All About Trauma, right? And it's a remake of All About Eve, where everybody kills everybody instead of just is bitchy to one another.
I was thinking the other day a horror film called GTSD, and it's Ghost Traumatic Stress Disorder, and it's what we have after watching the Paranormal Activity movies.
Or we just have PATSD. Paranormal Activity
trauma,
traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, I guess post is important, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no,
whatever.
I just swapped it with Ghost because it rhymes.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. Totally. Right off the bat, new season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
It's a new season. I feel invigorated.
I'm excited.
I feel alive.
Yeah. Like, okay, not to be too behind the scenes, but we're recording this. Before it comes out, it's going to come out on the 18th of December. Ring ding 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 ding
ding Christmas bells.
Yeah. Anyway, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No.
Definitively
no.
But is it also not? This is another something.
And it's not an action movie either.
It's not an action movie. I agree.
It's not a buddy cop film.
It's a slow cinema masterpiece.
It's fascist, is what it is.
It is fascist.
It's uber fascist.
It's uber fascist, which is why it has endured for so long.
Yeah,
and why it was played on TV all the time. TV is an instrument.
It's a fascist medium.
A fascist medium, yeah. And I'm just thinking like. if you watch a movie close to Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't that make it a Christmas movie?
What do you mean, like any movie?
Yeah, like whatever it is.
No.
No?
What do you know?
Why not?
Every year around this time, I watch The Scorpion King. Does that make The Scorpion King a Christmas movie, Ben? It takes place in ancient Egypt.
Yeah, pre-Christ.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
The truth is, I don't know much about the timelines of world history.
Neither do I.
Okay.
Yeah. If you know whether or not...
Email us at thefranchiseespod@gmail.com.
Well, yeah. Okay, it's not... It's... Wait a minute. It depends, because... no, we're just going to embarrass ourselves if we talk about history.
No, yeah, like ancient Egypt happened before Christ because Moses dealt with ancient Egypt, right?
Yes.
And he let his people go.
Yes, but Moses is kind of a young guy. Moses is still around, right? Moses wasn't really that long ago. That's an ancient Egypt thing where it's like, Cleopatra actually was still alive in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Cleopatra must have been so hot.
I feel like Cleopatra was pretty hot.
Yeah. Super duper hot.
Yeah, I think she was. I think a lot of the historical figures who have been mythologized as beautiful probably
were hot.
Cleopatra, I think, Alexander the Great.
Cleopatra kicked off like a whole, war, and they had to, the Trojan horse and stuff.
Yeah. Cleopatra of Troy, the famous Cleopatra of Troy, and Helen, the famous Queen of Egypt. Yeah. This is hardcore history with Alex and Ben.
Yeah, where we talk about the hottest historical figures.
Yeah, we talk about Catherine the Great. We talk about
Mary Queen of Scots.
Mary Queen of Scots was definitely not hot. Yeah, maybe when she was like.
No, I mean she was a ginger devil.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Who else?
She played the dick like the bagpipes.
Yeah, you know who else did? Genghis Khan. Probably pretty attractive guy.
Must have been, right? Because he had all that consensual sex.
He had all of that consensual intercourse, yeah.
Across Asia. Eurasia.
Yes. Die Hard is a Christmas movie from 1988.
I've spoken to this about with a friend of mine before, but it's like, if kind of, social media existed back then, or conversely, if Genghis Khan was around today, he'd be so like canceled. You know what I mean? Like
Genghis Khan?
Yeah, it'd be like
the conqueror.
Yeah, it's like it's not debatable how canceled he'd be. Like he would be Me Too'd to all heck. It wouldn't be a soft canceling. It wouldn't be no Win Butler shit. It would be a hard canceling. Don't you think?
Yeah, I've got to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you.
Bad man.
Yeah, not a good guy. Yeah, and this is why we can't apply, our current standards to people in the past.
It was a different time.
It's a different time. Yeah, and back then, I think Genghis Khan probably thought what he was doing was right. Mm-hmm. So
just like Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Wait, what happened to Bob Dylan?
He was accused of, I think they exonerated him, but he was accused of messing around with a younger fan or something in the 60s or so, which sure a lot of them did.
I'm sure that did happen.
But, his crack team he's a Nobel Prize winner or whatever, or Pulitzer Prize, whatever it was. But
both of them at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
His crack team exonerated him, proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that nothing happened.
I do remember that, actually. Yeah, I do remember that.
I was always joking around that he 100% did it, and would it be funny if he released a track kind of trying to clear his name a bit, and it was called "The Children Were Older Back Then," which sounds like it could be a Bob Dylan title though.
Yeah.
Don't judge me, the children were older back then. Anyway, that was a dumb bit. But
no, I like that. That's good. Yeah.
I had lyrics for it, but I forgot them.
Up yours, woke moralists.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, we were talking earlier about how, I was watching a NoFX documentary about their tour, the Punk and Drublic tour, which is like a Vans Warped tour for middle-aged punkers. So they, so they could have like a safe space to skank.
Yeah. They won't be intimidated by all the youth surrounding them.
Totally. And, it's like NoFX, Bad Religion, all these punk bands. And that's the tour where the guitarist of NoFX, it was, they were playing Las Vegas shortly after the country music festival shooting.
Yes.
And he said something like about a shooting happening there. And then Fat Mike said, like, at least those were country music fans and not punk rock fans.
Yes.
And then they had to drop out of the tour and everything. And
idiots.
Yeah. According to Fat Mike, like in the documentary, he talks about how the guitarist, said this line and it got groans from the crowd. So he was like, I felt bad. I'm going to take the heat off of him, right? Like,
double down.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't back down.
But that reminded me when we saw a very disturbing and shocking live music moment when we saw Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
When Bruce Dickinson, the operatic voiced lead singer of Iron Maiden, he, hushed the crowd down, and I believe they were introducing the song Blood Brothers.
Yes.
And he said...
first he was talking about... He went on a rant about the pandemic.
Right.
That's what led into it, right?
Okay.
Where he was like... it's been a nightmare. It's been a living nightmare.
Yeah.
And now that the pandemic is over,
yes.
which is like...
Correct.
I didn't think it was. I was kind of waiting for, some sort of government or, authoritative voice to say it officially it is over. But when he said it, it's over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what did he say?
Well, at a certain point, he was just like, all right, no more woke bullshit. And we were like, oh, whatever's going to follow this has to be like really juicy.
Yeah.
And then, he said something like, I don't care if you're a man, woman, trans, non-binary. If we could all use the same toilet, I could call all of you my brothers. And then they played the song.
It was great.
And it was shocking.
No more woke bullshit.
It was disturbing. Cancel Bruce Dickinson. Put him
Not
on
a
trial.
chance in hell. It'll never happen for that.
It was just such like a dad moment, like kind of missing the point. Like woke bullshit is like, it's not.
They don't. But nobody who says that understands what they're talking about.
Totally.
Right? It's a dumb guy. It's a reactionary dumb guy phrase.
Yeah.
And when he said it, because you could tell the differences in the crowd.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people, a lot of older people, and I'm sure a lot of young people, but a lot of older people like were clapping and were whatever. Yeah. And then us, we looked at each other. We thought it was fucking hilarious, right? But because it's stupid.
Yeah.
And then this young couple in front of us and to the side, I could see they both did the exact same thing where their mouths were open and they looked at each other like, oh my God. Like,
well, it was also like, anticlimactic because arguably what he said after, no more woke bullshit wasn't much of a hot take, really.
It's like a garbled understanding of I don't know the trans bathroom debate. Like we were,
I wanted him to say like no more woke bullshit. I kind of agree with Kanye West.
Yeah,
or like,
this is before that.
Yeah, this was far before.
Well, yeah, that's what kind of made it funny was that it was like the kind. He said no more woke bullshit, and then he said something that was stupid and like offensive, but not in a way that was like. He didn't say something like blatantly racist, or something. He didn't.
It's not really transphobic either. Really,
well, it sort of is, but it's also not.
It's like a hazy understanding of like the point of it all, and like and in the end, we're all brothers.
It's really stupid. It's really stupid.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
That's what we were saying. Yeah. Oh, 9/11 was an inside job.
This is Blood Brother. Anyway.
Die Hard is a
Christmas
movie from 1988.
Is it?
If you came here to listen to Die Hard, it's directed by John McTiernan. who was hired, I believe, off the success of Predator, which he had made just 1 year previous, which is a very good movie. And I'll tell you what, we're going to be doing the Predator movies eventually.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back to John McTiernan. We're going to talk more about John McTiernan maybe in the third episode of this series
when he comes back.
When he comes back for Vengeance. Because there's some pretty funny, the way that his career ended is very funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not a canceling as they would say, but like an actual legal problem.
Interesting.
That's like pretty unhinged.
Because I've only ever seen the first Die Hard, but there's a scene in Die Hard 3 that I've seen memed that involves a sandwich board.
Yes.
And
that's not why he was
okay,
yeah.
sure.
That's
yeah.
not why his career
I'm sure, yeah. But like I just feel like Die Hard 3 is infamous kind of in a way.
That scene is certainly shocking. Okay. Probably more so now than even it was at the time almost. Okay. I don't know.
Well, we're not talking
about
Die
that.
Hard.
We're
talking about Die Hard 1 based off of the book Never Forget My Name.
Never Forget My Name. Nothing Lasts Forever.
That's such like a weak book title compared to
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
D Hard.
Like,
D Hard. Yeah.
Yeah, like Nothing Lasts Forever. Like soft living.
Soft, yeah.
Or Live Soft or whatever.
Yeah, we are gonna make a Live Soft movie where Bruce Willis. But Bruce Willis is sad too, right? I mean, we're going to talk more about him and where his career went probably later on in this season, because this is the beginning. This is it. I'm just going to rattle off a couple other names so that before we get to Bruce talk. That book comes out in 1979, Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe. And it's a sequel to his book, The Detective, which was made into a movie with Frank Sinatra.
Who had first option to play John McClane in this film, though he turned it down because, as he said, he's too old and too rich. I'm too old and too rich. And
ring-a-ding-ding, baby.
New York.
Yeah, what else does he say?
I'm
bake a pizza. He was 70 or something.
Yeah,
right?
No, he could not.
Yeah, it wasn't. He's not.
This movie would have sucked if it was Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, so in the book, it's like it's an older guy,
and
he's trying to save his daughter from terrorists. But in this one, it's a younger guy trying to save his estranged wife, which is way better.
Yeah, from. Like, not really terrorists, but more like robbers.
Yeah, exactly.
With terrorist-like tendencies.
Yeah, we see here. We'll get into some of the writing and produced by Joel Silver, cinematography by Jan de Bont, who
JDB.
went on to direct one of the several Die Hard on a Blank sort of rip-offs.
Yeah.
Probably the best of the bunch,
Speed.
which we'll get to. Yeah, Speed.
We love Jan de Bont.
Yeah, and Speed's got a sequel too. We can do Speed.
Yeah, we could totally do Speed.
That's
Cruise
great.
Control.
Cruise Control.
But Jan's he was a great cinematographer too before he got into directing. Like, this movie looks great.
Yeah.
You know, I think the novelty of the VHS is really cool, but I'm glad we watched the 4K because it looks good.
It looked good. It did look good. At some point it would be interesting to compare it to the what I assume is a pan and scan cropped VHS.
This motion picture has been formatted from its original version. It's been modified to fit your screen.
It says that. It says it right here, baby.
I miss those days.
Yeah, I certainly don't. I mean, there was something really magical about, like, there is something very pleasing. I think it's mostly a nostalgia thing for the VHS, right?
Totally, and like CRT TVs.
Yeah. There's something nice about that glow.
It lent itself well to these kind of pulpy movies. You know what I mean? Like, there's some movies. You know, the 4K looks great and it's fun, but like I haven't seen Die Hard since I was like way younger and like watched it on like cable TV, like, you know, on a channel that aired it uncut and. It's totally got a nostalgia factor.
With commercials
for me.
too.
With commercials,
that's amazing. It's like I hadn't done that in a long time. And when I go back to my parents' place, they still have cable. And there's a lot of movie channels that'll just show the movie.
Yeah.
But there's still ones that'll show, like, for example, like The Godfather, broken up with ads, and then it turns into a 9-hour movie.
No, it adds at least an hour to the movie.
It's crazy.
If it's a long movie, it'll add even more. And sometimes they used to like cut the movies to get them to fit these blocks. Like the whole
the TV version or whatever
TV version of movie industry, TV channels airing movies was like a really weird. It was a weird system.
Well, I mean, like for a long time, that was TV was the only way to see movies, right? Like before VHS came out. And then even after VHS and DVD were popular, TV was like a pretty reliable place to watch movies. And especially on like Turner Classic Movies Channel or...
My mom watches that a lot.
Oh, it's great.
She's a lonely woman.
It's perfect for the lonely people.
Sure is.
Yeah, it really is. If I had it, I'd have it on all the time.
That's literally what my mom does.
Yeah.
She watches Turner Classic Movies, and she bought a radio just to listen to classical music.
Your mom should get Letterboxd so she could stack those numbers up, you know?
Yeah, she was just like all of them. She would be like, I really like this one.
That's great. It's all about logging. It's about being like, I watched 1,000 movies this year because I'm lonely.
I will say Ben was very nice enough to get me a copy of the Criterion edition of The In-Laws.
Yes.
And I watched that with my mom because she was a big Columbo fan.
Yes.
It's got Peter Falk and Alan Arkin, and it's a very fun movie. Very like madcap adventure. There were moments that genuinely had me laughing.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Alan Arkin's facial expressions are incredible. Like he just looks like he's dying on the inside, which like anyone next to Peter Falk like hamming it up, I'm sure was.
Yeah, Peter Falk is really doing. He's doing a lot of wacky guy, business in that movie compared to the Alan Arkin fussy straight man.
I used to make fun of Peter Falk a lot when I was a kid because my mom would be watching Columbo, and he was the cop with the crazy eyes.
Yeah, Columbo is really good.
I don't like remember it other than my mom watching it.
I've only started watching it recently because I didn't really watch the reruns when I was a kid.
Right.
But it's a really satisfying TV show. Okay. Like just the format of it, where you'll see this murder and you know who it is, and they're usually some sort of like upper crust guy who's like murdering his wife or his business partner, whatever else it is, right? And they really think they've got all their bases covered, right? And Columbo is like doesn't show up until like 20, 30 minutes in, and then all of a sudden he's like just in the corner of the room, and they're like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "I'm Detective Columbo." Yeah. He's like, he doesn't sound like that, but he comes in and
I'm Detective Columbo.
Hey, yeah, he comes in and he's like, just one more thing. And he has this kind of folksy, kind of like blue collar kind of demeanor, and it puts them. It kind of throws off their whole like thing, right? And they think they're so smart and they're so cultured and they're so rich they can get away with anything. And Columbo comes in and he's like, "Yeah, I'm actually a really good, perceptive, smart guy, but I'm trying to play up this like folksiness, so it's like." And he always catches them, every single time. I mean, I don't know if that's true. Maybe there's one or two where he doesn't, but just that's a great thing about serialized TV is that it's very comforting. You've got a pretty good chance Columbo's going to catch the bad guy at the end.
Yeah, truly.
Not like life.
Amen to that. I miss those like trashy talk shows that like every day, if you're homesick from school, you knew you could put on Jenny Jones, Jerry Springer, Montel, or what's the Maury Povich, and glean some entertainment from other people's suffering.
Yeah.
Peter Falk should have played the detective in Glass Onion and Knives Out.
Yeah, he could have, right? He's dead, but he's dead.
Rest in peace, Peter Falk.
Yeah, Peter Falk too is really good in the Cassavetes movies as well.
Yeah, I need to watch more of those.
Yeah, he's really good in Woman Under the Influence. And
Woman Under the Influence of what?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh.
You're going to have to watch to find out. Yeah.
Is it a Christmas film?
It is a Christmas film. Oh. Yeah, if you watch it during December. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
You know what? I'm gonna say yes.
You're coming around to this?
No, I've always said yes.
You've always said yes.
I've always said yes.
Let's.
I've always said yes.
Let's rewind the tape.
I've always said yes.
All right. Okay. I believe you. Novelist Roderick Thorpe saw The Towering Inferno. And the movie, the disaster movie about a giant building that's burning. It's like pretty whatever. And then he fell asleep. He had a dream, and Die Hard came to him in his dream.
Well, no, not Die Hard. Nothing Lasts Forever.
Nothing Lasts Forever. And he thought, like, this is great. This will be the sequel. Anyway, the studio or whoever, I guess Joel Silver maybe, hired a writer, Jeb Stewart, to do the adaptation. And they changed some things and blah, blah, blah. And then after Stewart was finished writing the script, Stephen E. D'Souza was brought on to do a rewrite. And he was rewriting scenes and dialogue and stuff into filming, right? And Stephen E. D'Souza, I think, is kind of like a good sort of linkage between... if you can do like an auteur theory for screenwriters or whatever, like he wrote a lot of other 80s and 90s, like I guess sort of self-aware action films, not parodies, but like action films that I think understood that humor was important and that the sort of inherent ridiculousness of the genre. Like he wrote Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is one of the greatest 80s movies of all time.
Never seen it.
48 Hours. Running Man, I guess, to a lesser extent. Die Hard 2, Hudson Hawk, Ricochet. Ricochet is really, really good.
Haven't seen
it. Stuff like that.
Was he Portuguese?
Stephen E. D'Souza? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see.
Portuguese name.
He's. His dad was Jamaican.
That's not Portuguese.
Not Portuguese. There you go. Anyway. Something that's interesting is like we're going to go back to Willis now, right? So this is the beginning. This is it, because he had been on Moonlighting for a few years, which was a pretty successful TV show, and then he had starred in I think 2 movies before this, Blind Date, and then Sunset.
It's weird to hear that like Bruce Willis wasn't considered like an action person before this movie, because our generation kind of grew up on Bruce Willis being like the tough guy, macho man, but like to people in 88, they were like, oh, like that guy from like the funny TV show and the romantic comedies or whatever, like he's the star of this action film, but now you wouldn't bat an eye at it.
No, of course not. This was it, because Blind Date and then Sunset, which came out in 1988 before Die Hard and did not do well, and like is not well remembered, I guess.
Yeah, I heard that they took him off like the promotional posters for this movie because they were worried he was going to like, tank the box office potential.
Yeah.
So the original posters just had an image of the building.
Yeah, which is really funny.
Nakatomi Plaza.
I think it also had something to do with
It should have been called Nakatomi Christmas.
Yeah, it should have. That would have been cool. Yeah. That's a great title.
Thank you.
He was paid $5 million for the role.
Holy shit.
Which was a lot of money. It's a lot of money no matter which way you cut it. But for the time, that was a huge salary.
Yeah, it's probably like $10 million or something.
For a leading. $5 million adjusted for inflation. That's $50 million right now.
That's how that works.
And I think like when you're reading about this and they're saying Bruce Willis people were shaky about it. He was criticized. The filmmakers were criticized for paying him that much money. Like the people they're talking about are like industry people, like Variety, et cetera, et cetera. The regular Joe Schmoes don't pay attention to any of this shit, especially not back in 1988, where it was like it would have become like a article that gets shared around Twitter or whatever. Like nobody gave a shit, or really, all of this like research they were doing and box office speculation, it's all seems pretty silly, right? Because like the only people that know or care about this sort of thing are industry people. Like I guess it was a
like
news
us.
story, right? But yeah, like us, yeah. People who have their finger on the pulse. But yeah, he said no, I can't do it because I have moonlighting to do. But then Sybil Shepherd became pregnant and had to take a break, and so he could fit it in there. And thank God he did, right?
Yeah, no, like off the bat, of course, the franchisees have been watching along. They've recently watched Die Hard, but they rewatched it because everyone's seen Die Hard at some point or another.
Yeah, and you have to watch it during December because
it's not a Christmas
movie, right?
I don't think it is.
Is it?
I don't think so. You know what? I'm going to say no, it's not.
It's not.
I don't think so, no.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But despite it, it takes place at Christmas.
Yeah, but it's not about that. Like to me, a Christmas movie is about like Christmas cheer and the spirit of giving, and possibly being haunted by ghosts.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right.
And there's no snow. It takes place in godless Los Angeles.
That's true.
Where men kiss each other on
That's
the
true.
cheek.
Yeah. When he shows up, too, there's some blonde lady who he's checking out, and she jumps into the arms of his boyfriend at the airport, and he's like, California.
No, that's when he gets to the Christmas party at Nakatomi
No,
Plaza.
I know.
Oh,
and
okay.
then after that, he gets to the Christmas party, and a guy comes up and is like, I love you, buddy. He kisses him on the cheek, and he's like, California.
Yeah.
It's both times.
He says it twice? That's funny.
Yeah, because he's from New York,
Oh,
baby.
I'm a New York cop.
Guys don't kiss other guys in New York, baby.
You only kiss another man in New York if he's a boy in blue and it's his retirement day. And then that's when you kiss him on the very tip of his penis.
Yeah, there's only a few times in New York where you kiss a guy on the lips. It's retirement. It's when he solves a tough case, right? Or when he's having troubles at home.
Columbo got a lot of kisses.
Columbo gets. That's the other good thing about Columbo is that at the end of every episode he gets a kiss from his superior officer.
Good work, Columbo.
Good work, Columbo. I love you. I love you, Columbo.
Oh God. Yeah. So right off the bat. This is a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a good movie. You all know what Die Hard's like.
Yeah,
we don't need to tell you what happens.
It's totally cliche, but like it was probably the movie that helped kick off a lot of cliches, and it's fun. The only thing
I think it also has some sort of subversive elements, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
it's super pro-fascism, which is like pretty subversive. And we'll get into that. But I just wanted to say, I had a lot of fun watching this.
Yeah, me too.
Such a breath of fresh air after fucking however many Paranormal Activities,
Yeah, this is a real movie.
Yeah, it was great to see. It was great to watch. There was no night 1, night 2. It all takes place on one night, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, which is
ergo making it a Christmas film.
Making it a Christmas film. You're right. Stephen E. D'Souza, I think, changed the Jeb Stewart script, which I think closer to the novel took place over several days into one night.
I'm glad he did that. Yeah,
it's great.
And there's two things I could say to potentially knock it. I think it could have been like I'm not saying it feels overly long or that it's too long, but if it was 15 minutes shorter, I don't think I would complain. I feel like there was maybe a bit of fat that could have been trimmed. Maybe. I don't know.
You're always in a rush, Just
I'm a busy guy.
You're a busy guy.
I'm reading my Variety. I'm going to the business meetings.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And I think maybe it could have been like 15, not even that much, but like 15 minutes shorter. And because it's not like a really in-depth plot. It's like he goes.
No, but I don't know. I think it's. I disagree, I guess, but
New York police officer John McClane goes to L.A. to link up with his estranged wife, who's a higher up at Nakatomi, a Japanese company, when a group of joymen, terrorists and thieves infiltrate the building in an attempt to steal $650 million in untraceable bonds.
Yeah, so you might think that was Alex just telling you what the plot was, but that actually is a clip we included from the original trailer.
Yeah. Die Hard this summer.
Die Hard.
July.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
You're exactly right. It's
a thin plot.
Well, no, but it's like, what do you mean it's a thin plot? Like, it doesn't. Well, sure, it's an action movie.
No, yeah,
it's a Christmas movie,
right? No, I like it. I'm just saying, like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I would say like maybe cut 15 minutes off, and the only other thing I could knock against it is Bruce Willis. I personally don't care for Bruce Willis. Like, I think he's got a bit of a weird voice.
Hey, come out of the coast.
These fucking Californians. Well, he doesn't have an accent like that.
Have some laughs. What
he's
did he
like
say?
Soft-spoken, and I don't know. Like, it's just.
But that's why the movie works, right? Like that's why John McClane works in this movie, and then increasingly less so as the series goes on, where he becomes more and more of an invincible badass, right?
Right.
Because like that was the thing at the time. Is like okay, obviously he's a macho guy. He's a New York City cop. He's in good shape, but he's
got
not.
Hair.
He's got hair.
He looks great with hair.
He does look good with hair, yeah. But he's not.
He's got a bit of a bloodhound face, a bit like droopy, mopey. Like
he is a bit, yeah. Well, he's insecure, and he's, he's estranged from his wife, aren't we all? And but he loves his wife. He's a wife guy.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? And yeah, as we were talking about, he's the estranged wife guy who gets an opportunity to save and reconcile with his wife through extreme violence.
Yes.
It is the ultimate American blue-collar dream, is to reconcile with your estranged wife who you love so much. I love you, like, I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
But no matter how many times you say you're sorry in a drunken haze, your wife doesn't, she won't listen to you.
You need to shoot a terrorist in the dick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And you know what? Your wife, she doesn't go by your name anymore. Yeah. She goes by her maiden name.
Instead of Holly McClane, she changed it to Holly Gennaro.
Holly Gennaro. She's got a high-powered job in a Japanese company.
Yeah, with a coke-fueled coworker who's always hitting on her.
And it also, this definitely plays into that late 80s, early 90s fear of like Japanese tech overtaking America, right?
Totally. Well, it's ruthlessly efficient German thieves.
Yeah.
Stealing from a Japanese company in L.A.
Yeah,
the American Sodom.
With a up and coming businesswoman wife who refuses to use your frickin' last name, McClane. And it's the ultimate fantasy. It's like, I'm gonna get my wife back, and she's never gonna work another frickin' day in her life, and I'm gonna do that. By murder,
killing Germans.
Yeah,
she's gonna quit her job at the Japanese company after I murder a bunch of Germans.
Love it,
Mermans.
Yeah, there's a couple. Well, so
wait. Can I just say, like, I hear you and I understand, and I do think like the role definitely called for an everyman type figure, but it's just something about Bruce Willis's voice that like it's just like the way he sounds, and like, it's like he does all the motions, and I think he's fine, but I don't like him, and I've never have. Like, I've never really liked him in any movie he's been in, and I always thought like another soft-spoken, muscle-bound actor would have done a better job.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, I think it's great that he came from like a TV background, and I'm glad it wasn't like an action star. But it's just something about Bruce Willis just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, you don't like the guy, that's okay.
Yeah.
I guess he's not going to come on the pod,
Well, he can't.
No,
He's not allowed to.
We'll get into that. Yeah. One thing I wanted
But he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah. No, totally. I like his performance in this. I think that like it's funny enough without being too broad, and I think the things that he's able to do, that his character is able to do in this movie, with a few exceptions, are like kind of grounded in realism in a way that a lot of the other 80s action movie stars weren't, like Arnold or Stallone or whatever. Like Stallone particularly in Rambo like 2 and 3. and Arnold in Stephen E. D'Souza's Commando, which is an amazing movie, right? But where he single-handedly kills maybe 1,000 people. Rambo 3-2 is like, I think he kills like 1,000 people. Right? In this movie, not so much, right?
Rough figures. That's one of the great things about Die Hard is how grounded it is. Like, it takes place in one building over one night. It's got a relatively simple premise, and like a lot of the set pieces are just this kind of like cat and mouse game. Like, am I going to shoot you or are you going to shoot me? Like, they're not these like big elaborate. It gets elaborate with the like helicopter explosion and stuff.
Yeah,
but
and
it's
the fire hose.
The climax happens like the trick in the climax is like he duct tapes a gun to the back of his head, and they don't know. Like,
that's great.
It's so like DIY. He's kind of like a DIY action figure star. Like.
Yeah, totally. And I think he's fallible, like, and physically so too.
He gets fucked up.
He gets fucked up. He gets hurt. He runs on glass.
Yeah, he has to take breaks. He has to like
feet.
smoke cigarettes to get his energy back.
Yeah, totally. He has to do stimulants. Do it, sneeze it out. It's okay.
He should have borrowed some of Ellis's cocaine.
Yeah, that is a really funny. So Ellis, played by the great Torontonian.
Get on the pod.
Hart Bachner, who has a couple memorable scenes like where he's introduced as this kind of sharky kind of cokehead co-worker of Holly, played by Bonnie Bedelia, who is a great name. I don't know much about Bonnie Bedelia, but
that's a great name.
I like to say Bonnie Bedelia a lot. But then later his kind of main scene, right, is when he thinks he knows what's going on.
He thinks he's slick.
He thinks he's slick. He's probably coming down from the coke, but he's still got that cocaine energy. Yeah. And he thinks he can solve the whole thing, and he goes in and he ends up getting shot in the face. Right? Yeah, because he's an idiot.
He goes to talk to Hans Booby. And then it's so funny you pointed out they pour him a Coca-Cola, and it's just
they bring him a
Coke. This guy loves Coke.
He loves Coke. He is a cokehead. Yeah.
But, speaking of Hans Booby, like...
We got to talk about Hans.
Dude, you want to talk about, Bruce Willis being in this movie, making a splash. Like, oh, Bruce Willis, he's from TV and whatnot. But, like, Alan Rickman is the real star of this movie.
He is,
in my opinion.
Like, yeah, and I also read somewhere where someone was saying, like, in a way, he's sort of the protagonist. In the sense that which is, I don't agree with, but in the sense that he is the reason that anything happens. Like, without Hans Gruber, John McClane would just go to the party and maybe reconcile with his wife.
That'd be a
probably
boring
not.
movie.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, I still love you. Yeah. I hate California, though. It's a bunch of hippies and queers.
Do you want to move back to New York with me, baby?
Hey, come on to the coast. Have some laughs. He's like Seinfeld.
Alan Rickman fucking amazing. Kills it. Yeah. Like, so good.
His movie debut.
Incredible. Yeah. He was known for like a UK TV show and then some like plays on the West End of London.
Yeah.
What a way to start your film career. Like,
huge. Made him a star.
And that intro, like where they come out of the van and he's like walking up to the building, like just so badass. He looks fucking cool.
He's so cool.
His performance is like restrained yet dangerous. Like,
yeah, there's a couple times where it's pretty silly. Like yeah. But it's always extremely menacing, and like his accent is funny because he's got such a famous voice for us now, right? That it's hard for us to. I mean, I found it a little hard to hear him doing his like slight German accent on top of his already incredibly distinct English accent.
Voice.
But at the time, like nobody knew, right? Like people wouldn't have unless you had, excuse me, seen him in the West End or whatever.
Who's this German guy?
Yeah, who's this German guy? Yeah,
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber. It's such a funny name.
I know.
It's really funny.
Yeah, I love
Gruber.
Yeah, and he's just phenomenal. He's got like so many. Every scene with him is just kind of a joy to watch, really. And there's that great scene where he finds John McClane somewhere in like the vents or back hallways of this building, and
yes,
John McClane doesn't know who he is, so he puts on an American accent. So he's a British guy doing a German guy who's putting on an American accent, and he pretends to be like one of the hostages. So John McClane trusts him and gives him a gun. But the gun has no bullets.
The gun has no bullets because John's a smart cookie.
He's a sharp guy.
He's a sharp guy. Yeah.
But it's just a lot of fun.
It is. It's very well constructed. Like the big set pieces are really cool. Mm-hmm. It's well shot by Jan, by our friend Jan.
I love how the news media gets involved and their dicks just trying to get
William
like
Atherton
a juicy story.
Plays exclusively ding dong dicks in movies. Yeah.
And then there's like. This has probably happened before, but like I wouldn't know in what movie, but it starts with just the one cop from Family Matters talking to John McClane, and
Reginald Vell Johnson.
The Paul Gleason, the principal from The Breakfast Club, shows up, and it's like, this is my crime scene now, like, and then eventually the FBI shows up. Our friend Robert
Davi.
Yeah.
Robert Davi and another guy. I'm not sure who the other guy is.
And they're like, this is an FBI situation now. And, that classic kind of chain of command, one-upmanship. It's been done a million times since. I don't know if it was like around before, but it's...
I think there must have been similar scenes to it. Mm-hmm. But with the sort of fighting for command sort of thing, but it's very iconic, I think, in this movie. This whole, like, where the first responder is the only good cop in the entire 500-man task force.
Yeah, Paul Gleason especially is very aggressive,
extremely incompetent. Yeah. And
we can't trust this guy who you've been talking to. There might not be any hostages in there. Like, he's really not good at his job. I
just want to mention the name of the other FBI agent, right? Because they're both named Agent Johnson, which is also funny. The actor's name is Grand L. Bush.
That's awesome.
That's a huge name, Grand L. Bush.
Grand Bush. Yeah.
I really like that.
Hell yeah.
Grand. Yeah, you have to put the L in there, or else your name is Grand Bush, which is very funny. We also have Al Leong as one of the henchmen. He doesn't have a big role in it, but he's there. Who's like professional henchman,
henchman,
number 5 in so many of these movies.
Played one of the Mongolian henchmen in Andrei Rublev.
Yeah. No, stupid idiot. He plays Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
There you go.
Maybe that's what you're thinking of, you idiot.
Cancel him.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But, great cast, right?
Great cast, with the exception of Bruce Willis. But he did a good job. Perfunctory.
I guess I know what you mean. But there's just something about the John McClane character in this movie specifically, and then I guess 2 and 3 we'll get to, where it still feels, he's still in his acting phase, and then when you get to like Live Free or Die Hard, aka Die Hard 4.0, that's when it's. I'm not looking forward to that. That's what I'm saying. And then the other one, oh my God, who cares?
But that kind of plays into some of the fascist themes of the film, is that there's this guy, he's the everyman.
He's the good guy with a gun.
He's the good guy with a gun. The entire police force and the FBI are incompetent.
Yeah.
We should arm the citizenry.
Yeah.
To protect people from, the German criminals and the Japanese tech companies.
Businessmen. Yeah, he is technically a cop himself, but basically, he's off duty, right? And yes, you can say it's very much like pro good cop, pro guy with a gun, and also pro kind of blue collar, right? Because you have there's this whole dynamic between John McClane and Hans Gruber, where Hans Gruber a few times mentions like his classically trained education. It's really funny that first time he says it is like, he makes a reference to he recites the Ozymandias poem, right? Where he's like, or is it that, or is it? Or no, it's not. Maybe it's Alexander the Great, where it's like, I have nothing. He wept because he had nothing left to conquer. Or whatever. Yeah. And then which is like like a quote people know. And then he says, benefits of a classical education. Like, fuck you, right? He's a hoity-toity, well-educated German guy, and John McClane is the rough and rowdy John Wayne cowboy type. Mm-hmm. And he mentions it a few times. He says like, oh, what are you, another American who's grown up on too many movies?
Yeah, you want to be John Wayne.
You want to be John Wayne.
Yeah, and there's a scene where he's talking to like the president of the company, who's this Japanese fellow, and he's like remarking on how nice his suits are, and he's like, I have a couple of those suits at home.
Yeah, he's a fancy lad.
He's a fancy boy.
Yeah,
he's a fancy.
He's a foreign fancy lad, and a good rough and tumble American cowboy. It's a natural enemy.
Yeah, in the wild.
And then that's when he brings up Roy Rogers, right? Where he's like, I'm more of a Roy Rogers type myself, and that's the guy who did the Yippee-Ki-Yay songs.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, he says it.
Yeah, sure does.
He says it.
And you're the one who told me that one of Hans's henchmen is actually played by one of the members of Kraftwerk, Florian Schneider.
Florian Schneider, yeah. Without looking it up, just trust us that that's true. Yeah.
But one of the henchmen, the big henchman, Carl,
yes,
is played by a
Bolshoi ballet.
Yeah,
dancer,
a professional ballet dancer.
Yeah,
who's great.
Yeah, he's really good in that. He had another.
He's in Witness, which we spoke about during Next of Kin.
Yes, he plays one of the Amish in Witness.
It all comes back to the Amish.
And not in a whole lot of movies because he passed away. He was an alcoholic and he it killed him. Yeah, sad.
Very sad.
It's very sad.
And on that note,
way to bring it down. Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, this was I think partly because of maybe some of the stories like, oh, we taken a big chance on Bruce Willis. We paid him $5 million. Action is dead or whatever, this kind of idea in the late 80s, like, well, we've really overdone it now and whatever else. The expectations for this movie were pretty low, I guess, in the industry, at least according to Wikipedia, which is where we get all of our information.
No, I watch video essays.
Oh yeah, me too, of course. Die Hard, ending explained. There's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
He kills the bad guy.
Yeah. It ended up being the year's 10th highest grossing movie. And which seems like low, but that's a huge deal, especially back in '88 when box office was like a big deal.
What was the highest grossing movie of '88?
Let's find out. I'm actually really curious. But it also received 4 Oscar nominations. Mm-hmm. So let's ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. This is the first movie we've talked about. Oh wait, no, Paranorman. Paranorman was nominated.
Yeah. It lost to Up.
We're unringing the bell.
It lost to Up, which was a shame because the next year, Laika's next movie, was it Kubo and the Two Strings? Lost to Brave. And if Paranorman was up against Brave, Paranorman should have definitely won. I love Up. I think it's a great movie. Brave, I could take it or leave it.
I actually haven't seen Brave.
Yeah, it's not that.
Believe it or not.
That was like, to me, that was, when Pixar started falling off. Like, a lot of people hate on Cars. I think Cars is fine. The first Cars.
Yeah. It's hard for me to really remember. I saw it when it came out, but I don't.
Really Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Well, is that, or is it? Oh, sorry, you're right. I was just thinking. I was looking at something else. Number 1 films. Yeah. So, well, Three Men and a Baby was a huge movie. Mm-hmm. It's like think about that, where like a movie like that can outperform Die Hard at the box office.
R.I.P. Kirstie Alley.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was very sad, actually. I mean, she's a strange person near the end there, but
Big, Good Morning Vietnam, Crocodile Dundee, Coming to America.
These Crocodile Dundee 2
Yes,
was bigger than Die Hard, right?
I'm excited to do that franchise. That'll get us into the Australian market.
Yeah, finally we're going to crack it.
If you know any film nerd fans in Oceania, please recommend this because we're dying to crack into the Aussie market.
We would love to get into the bush, as they say.
Yeah, the outback.
Into the Bundiaba, and it's part of trust me.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of Aussie movies.
I've been to Australia.
Wake and Sight. You've been to Australia?
Wake and Fright. Yeah, I have the book Wake and Fright that was gifted to me by my Australian girlfriend's at the time's mother. Yeah, we want to tap into the Australian market.
We want to tap into Australia. We also we recently found out that we have some listeners in Quebec.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Bonjour.
Yeah, or as they say, merci.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, what did I say?
Bonjour.
Yeah, that's right. Bonjour, the traditional French. Thank you. Bonjour, s'il vous plaît.
Merci pour écouter à notre podcast.
Yeah, well done.
I've been taking French lessons.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Every Monday from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. I go to the Alliance Française and I do French. Oh, that's way too much personal info. They know where to find me.
Do you want me to cut that out too?
Catch me? No.
No, you're fine.
They're harmless.
Let me try. Let me try one here. Die Hard est un film de Noël. Hein? Ding, 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 ding.
Non, ce n'est pas un film de Noël.
Ce n'est pas
parce
un film
que
de Noël.
c'est un film d'action.
Nice. Good stuff. Something else we have to mention too is when we're looking at the sort of the idea of the redemption through violence, we also have to talk about Al, the original Bill
Family
Johnson
Matters
character.
guy.
Family Matters, yeah, who had to put up with a lot of crazy stuff in this movie, but it's nothing compared to having his life ruined week after week by Steve Urkel, who is in a way the ultimate terrorist, right?
Did I do that? He says that as
and he always did. Yeah. He almost always did do it.
Yes, Urkel.
So fucking frustrating.
But yeah, in this movie, he redeems himself after having killed a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah, something that would probably not be part of the movie if it were made today, which is a silly thing to say, of course. But
he kills Carl though, so it's all good.
Yeah, So his tragic backstory is that he's like a desk cop because he shot and killed a 13-year-old boy who he thought had a gun, but it ended up being like a toy. And yeah, yikes. Yeah, bad news. And he gets his redemption through extreme violence by killing Carl, who is inexplicably still alive at the end, and I guess was carried out in a stretcher. It doesn't really
and given an automatic rifle.
Yeah, he just like pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they do it in such a funny way where it's like you know John McClane tackles Holly to the ground, and you see the gun firing, and you see the beautiful squibs like blowing out the blood.
I love the squib work in this movie.
Yeah,
I love squib work.
Squidward.
Squib work.
Hey, Squidward.
Squib work.
You want okay? Now for the SpongeBob SquarePants quoting hour. Hey, Squidward. It's pretty good.
That's
right?
a good quote.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Squidward.
This is my
Squidward.
This is my favorite moment. Which character are you impersonating right now?
Patrick.
Okay, Patrick.
Squidward.
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 What does SpongeBob sound like again?
Oh, I can't do it. He sounds like Tom Kenny.
You know, Tom Kenny actually voices Benito Mussolini in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, right?
That's good that he's, he never has to work again.
Yeah.
He's
we'll talk about Pinocchio when we get to the Pinocchio franchise.
Years away.
No.
Years
away.
I
don't
want to fucking ever. No. Movies. It's also not a franchise. Beautiful squibs.
Yeah, I love it. I love a squib that like shoots out a spurt of blood. They had a bunch of action movies in the 90s like that, you know, and like I'm reminded of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That has amazing squib work. Like
Squidward.
The scene where O.J. Simpson helps them into Skynet and then he gets like shot up.
It's not O.J. Simpson.
It's not?
No, it's not O.J. Simpson. Can you imagine?
Kind of looks like him.
I mean, not really.
Oh, dude.
No, it's what's his face? Joe Morton.
Right.
Such a good performance too.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I love him in that movie. Like, that was one. We're gonna get to those movies, of course, and
years from now, far after Pinocchio.
No. I think it was like some DVDs. It was like a two for one DVD HMV special or something. Okay. And when, I'm not sure how old my brother and I were, but my dad was like, he got Saving Private Ryan and Terminator 2. It was like, these are like violent adult movies, but I think you're ready for them. And we watched them. And Terminator 2, like Joe Morton's death scene where he's like trying to stay alive, he's shot to bits, and he's got the plunger, the explosive thing. That really disturbed me.
Yeah.
And he sells it. Like, it's so, man, what a good movie.
I watched it when I was pretty young too, and it is like a very like creepy, disturbing film for kids. Like,
it's really violent.
When Sarah Connor imagines herself getting blown apart by like that shit's fucked. And then when she's like busting out of the mental institution, and she sticks like a syringe filled with like a laundry detergent in someone's neck. Like, it's a twisted movie.
The
Twisted Mind of James Cameron.
Yeah, which we're about to revisit. Now, it would have been smart of us to line up Avatar and Avatar 2 coming up, but listen.
No, but there's way more Avatars.
There's coming. A lot of Avatars coming, so maybe it just makes sense to hold off on that.
Yeah, we're gonna hold off on Avatar.
Yeah, let's hold off.
We've got some surprises up our sleeves.
Oh yeah, you bet.
But it's the start of a fresh franchise. We're loving it. We're rejuvenated. We're reinvigorated. We're loving life. Die Hard. Next week, make sure you catch up and watch Die Hard 2. I've never seen it before, so I'm really excited.
I want to say one or two more things before we wrap up.
Okay.
Sorry. One of those is that...
No, you could just cut it so I say that after this.
That's more complicated, isn't it? I don't know. One thing I wanted to mention is this movie is very influential in sort of rejuvenating like action movies and leading that into the 90s, where in the 90s... there were a lot of Die Hard on a blank movies, right? So Under Siege, Die Hard on a boat, right? Cliffhanger, it's like Die Hard on a mountain.
Cliffhanger rocks.
Cliffhanger does rock, and it has sort of a similar sort of energy to Die Hard.
It's
like
definitely
very
Die Hard on a mountain, yeah.
Speed, Die Hard on a boat, Air Force One.
Speed, Die Hard on a bus.
Die Hard on a bus. Speed 2, Die Hard on a boat again.
The bus that couldn't slow down.
Yeah.
And it had to speed everywhere. And if it dropped below a certain speed.
You knew we were going to get that Simpsons quote in there.
Always.
One other thing.
Which is your favorite of the Die Hard on a blanks?
I love Cliffhanger. Speed is really good.
I think mine's Speed.
Yeah, Speed. I'm thinking about it as the Comer saying it now. Air Force One is fun. It's like pretty junky in a lot of areas, and Under Siege is not really one I'm super fond of. Like there are better Seagal movies, I think.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's fun. I mean, any Seagal movie is like pretty funny. But I think Speed is probably Speed.
And it dropped below a certain speed. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
I call it Billy and the Clonosaurus. I think, Speed and Cliffhanger of those four anyway, but probably Speed is the best. Like, it's just really good.
Sandra, Keanu,
Dennis Hopper. Yeah, Jeff Daniels gets blown up.
Cameron from Ferris Bueller.
Yes. He's on
Alan
the bus.
Ruck.
Alan Ruck.
Yeah.
Maybe to lead us out there, if you want to read some good, there's tons of stuff out there on Die Hard. There's for the love of God, though, when you're typing in Die Hard, whatever video essay or Die Hard,
fan fiction,
whatever it is, like you're going to encounter some really obnoxious is Die Hard a Christmas movie thing. And I know we were having a bit of fun at the beginning and we were doing our little Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie bit? Is it this? Is it that? Right? Mm-hmm. That's all fun and games. The real answer to that is who gives a fuck, right? Don't be an idiot. Don't waste your time on bullshit like that. It's not important.
The real question is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
Yeah, save your energy for that, right?
That's a real fucking issue that we need to solve before like society just devolves into a goddamn Californian cesspool. We're all kissing each other on the cheek.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, let me answer that question for once and for all. It's a Christmas movie. It's not, right?
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie.
I think it's a Halloween movie.
Yeah. Okay, well, here we go again. There's a great piece by Richard Brody about Die Hard where he didn't see it when it came out because he was too busy being an intellectual or whatever.
He's kind of a dork.
I love him. You gotta love him though, right?
No, I don't know if I do.
Right,
I like the other New Yorker critic more.
Anthony Lane?
Yeah.
He's a dork.
Oh, you're going to sit there and tell me Richard Brody, Rick Rubin looking ass is is less of a dork than Anthony Lane?
Yes. He wrote about it, much later, being like, I actually never saw this movie. And I just wanted to say one last little thing that I think is kind of interesting. Blah, blah, blah. Along the way, though, its director, John McTiernan, and its cinematographer, Jan de Bont, borrowed the sleekly metallic stylings, neon glow, striated light, and sharply angled asymmetries of European commercials of the period, which is really funny because it's like, that's a great Richard Brody thing where most of us don't know if that's true. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. So you just be like, yeah, you're right, Richard. You're right. Yeah, of course,
Richard Brody.
And add to them an intermittent, seemingly intentionally fleeting sculptural majesty. I love it.
Oh my god,
so much. Okay, no, but hang on.
He writes like a pitchfork writer.
Yeah, well, he's better than that. Pitchfork writers write like him. Thank you. I guess they predated his career as a.
Just finish reading your fucking Richard Brody quotes.
I'm so sorry, everybody. Turn off the podcast. Moments that pass by quickly, particularly ones featuring Bruce Willis in poses of fear, pain, or fierce determination, seem ready-made as iconography to be clipped for a trailer or a poster. The idea of the film as an advertisement for itself, as a mass media self-projection, is no coincidence. It's one of the movie's crucial reflections of the cultural moment in which it was made.
I think we could all agree that Pauline Kael was the best New Yorker film critic. I think she was the queen. Shout outs to Pauline Kael, R.I.P. She had some hot takes.
I don't watch movies twice because I got them the first time every time.
Yeah,
Kael.
Yeah.
And Pauline, I hate Shoah. Kael.
Shout outs to Pauline Kael.
Shout outs to Pauline Kael. Anyway. Listen, Merry fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, you fucks.
What was that you said to me? Yippee-ki-yay. We actually haven't imitated Hans Gruber nearly as much as I thought.
Yeah.
We'll just do the entire
Mr.
episode of
McLean.
We'll do the entirety of Die Hard 2 in Hans Gruber voices. What I really thought about this movie was it was good.
Randy Harlan is a European guy. He probably has a funny voice.
Great. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Play along.
Mr. McLean. Okay, we're getting it out now. Mr. McLean.
It's Leviosa.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Watch Die Hard 2. Keep up. New season. This is so exciting. So fresh. We love you. Nous t'aimons. We love you in French.
Isn't it je t'aime?
That's I love you.
Oh.
I'm saying we love the audience.
This is why I could never learn French, because it's more complicated than just knowing one tense.
Le prochaine semaine, nous regardons Die Hard 2, part 2.
Yeah. Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to the Hot Shots.
Those will be good. Those will be good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Follow us on all the social medias that we don't have set up. And
Crunchyboy16 on Instagram.
Fart and Fink on Twitter.
Fart on Fink.
Fart on Fink. And
the Wizza on Letterboxd.
Wizza on Letterboxd. Benjamin_Turnbull on Letterboxd. And
what's your OnlyFans again?
If you want the OnlyFans, email the franchisees pod.
Franchiseespod at gmail.com.
And with a check for $50, and I'll tell you what the OnlyFans is.
Okay, great.
All right. And Yeah, the next episode, Die Hard 2, it's going to be landing on Christmas Day. And guess what?
What?
You think Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
It's not.
You think Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
No.
You think... I'm not talking to you. Sorry.
Oh.
Don't be an idiot. I'm not talking to you. I'm pointing at you.
Yeah,
and I'm
looking directly at me.
And I'm looking at you. But I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to...
I'm slow.
The audience. You, Alex Seletsky, think...
Don't say my name!
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. They'll never find me.
I already said mine.
Yeah, true, yeah.
You... what's your addressing?
34... McGibbons Lane.
Good.
Etobicoke.
Yes.
Ontario.
Smart.
MJQ FUP.
Funny. Okay. You think Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Well, guess what? Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie.
No,
so we're going to do this all over again.
Unbelievable.
Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie.
No, it's not.
Wait a minute. Is Die Hard 2 a Christmas movie?
No.
Is Die Hard 2 a Christmas movie? Is Die Hard 2 a Christmas movie?